Hello and welcome to the Plant-Based Revolution podcast with your host, myself, Neil Damrell from My Lifestyle Coach. I hope you're doing really well. It's a lovely day here in London. The sun is shining, feeling good. If you're not following me on Instagram or Facebook, you might have seen that I've been, or if you are following me or if you haven't followed me, you might have known that I've just been away recently to Mallorca for a week cycling. So feeling good, had some good training under my belt. Some good times catching up with my friends, so feeling good, and it's going to be a push into the winter season now, so I'm excited for what's coming over the winter and pushing on into next year. So I'll be doing a podcast related to the training camp or the week cycling in Mallorca in the future, because there's some good lessons learned that you can take away, not just with regards to cycling. So if you're into cycling, you'll definitely learn a lot, but also just in general mindsets and being prepared for exercise. If you've got something coming up, you want to make sure you give yourself the best possible chance to do the event well, but also by preparing yourself, you're going to enjoy yourself a lot more because your body is ready for it. You're not going to just turn up and feel you're going to struggle the whole time. So lessons learned from the Mallorca trip will be a podcast coming soon, so stay tuned for that. But in today's episode, I'm going to talk about how you can stay healthy while working away. So again, if you do follow me on Instagram or Facebook, you might have seen recently that I've done a few posts and a few lives from my hotel room in a travel lodge somewhere up country. I've been travelling quite a bit with work recently, and it was one of the topics that a colleague of mine said, how do you stay healthy while working away? And it is a big issue, I think, for a lot of people, especially if your job is on the road a lot of time. You're staying away from home, you haven't really got the time to prepare, or you can't prepare food to take with you because you're in a hotel, you haven't got the facilities to store food or etc., or you're going from one place to the next, so you can't really bring the food with you, or you might be having meetings and eating out and having lunches all the time. So these tips I'm going to give you today hopefully can help you think more consciously about staying healthy while on the road, because my biggest motivation is that I enjoy my job and I don't enjoy travelling too much. I don't mind the odd bit here and there, and lucky enough I don't travel a lot, but the odd occasions when I do, I just make sure that it's not going to spoil my exercise program, and it's not going to make me feel like I've taken a week off because I'm eating badly and not exercising. So these tips that I apply to myself hopefully can be a benefit to you if you are stuck in a hotel room somewhere in the future and you're thinking, how can I stay healthy while on the road, and hopefully make you think more consciously about your choices while you're working away, and how you can sort of utilise the space and utilise wherever you are in order to stay fit and healthy on the road. So I'm going to get straight into it. We're going to cover food, we're going to cover exercise, and we're going to cover tips to eat well in the car, on the road, so you're not relying on coffee, caffeine, etc. like that to keep you going and keep you energized if you're tired. So we're going to start off straight away with food and how you can you can eat well while working away. So first tip I would say is to be prepared. So for me, if I'm working away, take the example last week or the other week when I was away, I knew I was going to be away for a whole week, so I decided to take my own breakfast with me, and that is as simple as just making up small sachets of porridge. I weigh them out, so they're 100 grams each, and put them in sealable sort of freezer bags, and I can just take them along with me. I have a little plastic bowl that I take to along with me as well, so I can eat my porridge on the go, so I'm not stuck, especially if you're in some hotels where they don't provide you with breakfast, and it saves you having to buy breakfast every day. So one, it's going to save you a lot of money, and two, it's going to be a healthy breakfast compared to having a fry up every morning. So I prepare those every at the start of the week, depending on how long I'm away for. So if I'm away for 5 days, then I'll have 5 sachets, 5 breakfasts, 5 breakfast worths, and they're really, really easy. Take them along with me, and normally there's coffee and tea available in the room, so I use the sachets of sugar just maybe to sweeten the porridge a little bit. And then what I do is also take a little bit of long life milk with me, so it doesn't have to necessarily be refrigerated. so I can just use that to add to the porridge. Add a little bit of boiling water, which kind of softens the oats first, and then add a bit of milk afterwards. So that milk will last me the whole week, and tend to just chuck it away if you don't use the whole of it, because if you are in a warm environment, you'll find that milk will eventually go off. So that is what I tend to do for breakfast wise. Lunch wise, snack wise, etc. Like, you can prepare your snacks ahead of time as well. So I would take along maybe a bag of apples, so 5 or 6 apples. That can be a snack each day. And also I'll take some nuts along with me as well, and I'll do exactly the same thing as I've done with the porridge oats. I'll buy a few packets of nuts, and then instead of having one packet and thinking I'm going to eat that whole packet, which is going to be high in calories, especially if you're trying to manage your weight a bit better, but even though the nuts are very good for you, it's still very high in calories, so you need to just manage how many you're going to consume on your snack. So I would weigh out maybe 100 grams of nuts and like dried fruit and nut that I would get, and I'd say probably get 2 or 3 sachets worth from a packet, depending on where you buy your fruit and nut mix from. And then there I've got my snacks again for 2 or 3 days, depending on what I'm choosing to have. So those things will keep as well, and you can take those along with you quite easily, which is a really, really good option to do. So snack wise, very easy. Breakfast wise, very easy. Porridge wise, it's a simple, really healthy breakfast, and really good for your cholesterol as well. Just get those oats down you. A lot of good, really helps to improve your good cholesterol, etc. with the oats. So breakfast and snacks we've covered. Now, what can you do for lunch and dinner? So personally, I'm not too fussy with what I eat. If I can have the same thing every day, I can. Especially when I'm working away, it keeps things very simple. Some people would feel that they need to eat a variety of foods because they got bored. So you may feel like you want to be going out and having a meal day each day, for example. So depending on where you're working, what I would normally do and what I did the other week was take along some couscous, big bag of couscous, and then I bought some mixed beans and I bought some tin tuna. So that none of these things have to be refrigerated, because some places I will visit hotel wise will have no refrigerator. So it saved me worrying about keeping it fresh. I'll buy tinned stuff, and then all I need to do with the couscous is put some boiling water with it, add the tin tuna, or add the tin beans, whatever I'm going to have, one for lunch, one for dinner, and then also I took along a little bit of mayonnaise as well, which I could just flavour it a little bit afterwards. So that was very simple. That was my lunch. If the couscous sort of dried a little bit out for the day, all I did was add a little bit more warm water, and that just softens the couscous again, so you can have nice fresh couscous for your lunch. And obviously if you're going to make it for your dinner, it's going to be fresh anyway, because you're going to make it and consume it straight away. So that was what I was doing every day while I was away. So that gave me my foundation of what I was going to consume for the week. So I was prepared, and also think about it, how much money it's going to save you. So if you're buying a meal deal every lunchtime or every dinner time, or you go into the restaurant, depending on where you're staying within the hotel, and having dinner every night, dinners are going to cost you 10, 20 quid every night. So it's going to add up, where I spent probably about £20 for the whole week's worth of food. Also, what you'll find while you're away, and what I found as well while I was away, that sometimes there's some local supermarkets close to where you are. So I always check and see if there are any local supermarkets, and I may go along and just top up little things and buy some extra fruit, some grapes, or if I want a yogurt as a snack in the evening, then I can go and buy some yogurt, and obviously that can be consumed without having to be kept fresh, because I'm not going to keep it overnight. So look around and see where there's local supermarkets around when you're travelling, so you can maybe pop out of an evening. If you're stuck in your hotel room for the night, you can just pop out straight after work and just pop up a few extra supplies. So that is a key. So the key really for food is being prepared. Think about what stuff you can take along with you that's going to keep. Try and go for tin food. Try and go for couscous, that kind of thing that can be made easily, just with hot water in a bowl. Don't have to worry about taking a rice cooker or anything like that along with you, or anything to make pasta. Just really, really simple things. It is quite boring and bland food, I must admit, but for me, it takes away the stress of worrying about having fancy foods, and I know it's going to be healthy and it's going to be cheap as well. So for me, it's all about keeping costs down, not spending excessive amounts of money that I don't have to spend, and keeping it as healthy as possible. So that's food. Now we're going to cover exercise. So how can you exercise while working away? So what you need to be really honest with yourself when it comes to your job and when you're going to be working away. For me, you're going to have busy periods where you're going to have times when you can't get to the gym as often as you like to, and also you're going to have times where, like myself, I can maybe fit in a bit more schedule of workouts during the week if I'm not travelling as much. So what I tend to do is take my weeks as they come and see what I'm going to do each week with my exercise. And if I'm working away, for example, like I was a few weeks ago, I looked around to see where was the closest gym to me. So I'm not endorsing any gyms, but I am a member of Pure Gym, and within the UK that allows you to use, well, my membership allows me to use all the gyms in the UK. So if I'm just paying for one gym that I know I'm not going to use that often, because I'm never always going to be in the same city week in, week out, then I'll be a member of every gym. So generally and increasingly now, there are more and more gyms, Pure Gyms around the country. So I see when I get to wherever the location is, if there's a local gym nearby. Okay, if it's a Pure Gym, perfect. I don't have to pay any money. I could just go straight in on my membership. It might be a little drive like it was the other day. It was maybe a 10-15 minute drive, but if I'm just going to be sat in my hotel room watching TV, I might as well just go to the gym. So using my time wisely while I'm away. You also have other gyms like the Gym Group and Anytime Fitness that do have more and more gyms popping up across the cities as well now. So if you're a member of any of those, just look out and see if there's any ones in your area when you're travelling that you can go and use of an evening as well, or maybe if you have time in the morning before you get to work. If you're staying in quite a nice hotel, they might have a gym and a spa, so you've got to make sure you take something along with you, some workout gear, so you can be prepared to exercise with whatever options are available. So I'll always pack my trainers and some shorts, so wherever I am, even if it's not a gym, I might be somewhere where I can go for a run, for example. I've done that before. I've just gone for a run around the block, done some hill reps when I was in Wales once, and there was quite a hilly area we were staying in, so I just went and did some hill reps in the morning. So wherever you go, you've got options to utilise what's on your doorstep. Sometimes you also have other leisure centres that you can use. A little tip that I've used a few times is just trying to access their free guest pass. Normally, if you're not a member, they would like you to come in and experience a gym as a free guest before you maybe sign up as a member. Obviously, if you're not living in the city, it doesn't really matter. You just go in, get your free pass, use the gym for the day, and normally you can get your free pass off online these days. Just go on, log on, put your details in, and there you go. You got a free pass to sometimes really nice gyms with a pool, etc., that you can chill out in, or just some basic leisure centres that give you access to use the gym for 2 or 3 days. So look and see what's available, and these things are normally on your doorstep that you could probably just access and try and use, and try and go to the gym of an evening. You don't have to go every night. That's something that I certainly haven't done. Is I'll be travelling from location to location some evenings. So when I was away the other week, I managed to get 3 sessions in. So that was like a Tuesday, Wednesday and a Thursday, I think it was, something like that. So the great things about this is that it just provides you the opportunity that you can still keep active, and you don't have to feel like you're just locked away in your hotel room and just eating rubbish. So always take your trainers. Same with food, really. You just got to be prepared to have the opportunity to work out if you're going to be away somewhere. Also, if you're really, really stuck, you've got your hotel room. I'm sure you have access to Wi-Fi, so you could just watch a YouTube video of a HIIT workout, which I've done a few times before as well. I've just done the workout in my room, 20 minutes, all bodyweight stuff, get your heart rate up, feel a lot better for what you've achieved rather than just sitting down and doing nothing. Personally speaking, I'd advise you to go outside and do it, or do something away from the room, because the room is generally, you'll be sleeping in there. It's an environment that creates an environment for you to relax in, as opposed to you being active. So definitely think about how you can go and use a gym nearby, a local leisure centre, or a local gym, like Pure Gym, etc. Also, there's a lot of options online now, especially here in the UK, called pay as you gym, pay as you go gym, I think it's called. I've used before when I've been visiting other cities. You can just pay a £5 pass, depending on the gym itself. They might charge more depending on the city and the location, but that will just give you access just to the gym just for the day, and you can just go and use that of an evening. So personally speaking, I always try and access the free options just to save me money, because if you're paying £5 to £10 every time you go to the gym, if you're there just for a week, it might even be cheaper for you to just join that gym for the month and then cancel, because it would cost you maybe the same price depending on how long you're there for. So look at those options. Always take kit with you, and that gives you the option then to train. You might not be able to do your training program as you've been prescribed or as you would like to do, but the key is that you can just get into a gym, you can join a class, you can get on the treadmill, you can do some form of activity that's going to keep you active while on the go, and it's going to help you in the long run, because you're going to feel more energized, you're going to feel better because you're eating healthier, and you're not going to feel so sluggish because you just feel like you're sat down driving or at work all the time. And if ultimately, if you don't want to eat healthy and you don't want to exercise, but then you complain that you haven't got the opportunity because you're travelling around all the time, like, you just got to look hard look at yourself and think, are these excuses that I'm making? So that's food, that's exercise. And I'm going to touch on food again quickly. It's almost kind of being prepared and disciplined. So if you do eat out quite a bit for meetings, or you do have money for an expense, then see how you can maybe choose the healthier options when you go to the restaurant. So try and go for a salad as a starter, and maybe limit the carbs, and try and go for maybe the fresher dishes. They are creating more healthier options on the menus now, so there's no excuse really. You don't have to go for the, if you feel like when you go away, you got your breakfast, I got to have my buffet breakfast, got my fry up. You don't have to have these things just because they're being offered to you and feel like you need to take advantage of them. Just think about how in the long term you're going to feel much healthier by just going for the healthier salads, the porridge that's on offer, some muesli, cereal, that kind of thing, rather than the fry up or the mixed grill, whatever's on offer. And also try and cut down, especially on the alcohol. That'd be something that will save you a lot of calories. There's generally no need for it throughout the week if you're working as well, so just try and have water or maybe a soft drink, just to try and limit those calories and limit the damage that you're going to do, because like I've said many times before on a few episodes before, it's the consistent things that you do regularly that will add up against you or for you in a positive or negative way. So if you're constantly having those bad choices, making those bad choices, then over a period of time, then it's going to catch up with you. Okay, so the final one, on the road. So a little story, when I first started working a bit more, travelling a bit, I used to get quite tired driving, so I was using wine gums to keep me energised. I don't drink coffee, so I was using a quick sugar fix to keep me going for a bit, and soon realised obviously that was not really going to be a good sustainable way of keeping me healthy. It's not going to be good for my teeth or the rest of my body by consuming that kind of sugar regularly if I was doing it a lot. So I looked at ways that I could keep myself energised while driving on the road. So again, it's being prepared. What I tend to do is buy a packet of sparkling water that I can just keep in the boot. So I like sparkling water because it's giving me a fizz. It's not a sugary, high sugary drink like a Coke, but it's enough fizz to feel like I'm getting some form of stimulation from the fizz, and I'll have that in the boot ready to go. But then I also have another sort of half a litre bottle of water in me, so in the car as well. So I have 2 bottles of water, 1 fizzy, 1 still in the car, and that'll be me drinking both of those almost pretty much on my journey, whether that's 4 or 5 hour journey, that kind of thing. Also, what I'll do if I'm driving a long time as well, I'll buy some grapes. So grapes is a great on-the-go snack, gives me a bit of energy, rather than thinking I've got to stop and buy some sugary snacks or that kind of thing. And I can kind of snack on those as I go on the road along with my water. Also, another key factor is just taking regular breaks really. Try and leave early, be prepared for your travel time. Rather than thinking you've got to do a 5 hour stretch, which is not advisable, I will stop every hour and a half, every 2 hours maximum, just to stretch my legs, go to the toilet, have a walk around. It gives me a bit of fresh air, and then I'm back in the car again. So maybe a little 20-minute break every hour and a half, every 2 hours. That will really energise your journey and feel like you're not just sat behind the wheel for hours on end and getting tired. So again, it comes back down to the number one tip I put really and said with food is just being prepared. Make sure you choose wisely with the food you're going to consume. Be prepared with the stuff you've got in the car, so you've got healthy options to choose from on the road, and be prepared in terms of always taking some form of exercise gear with you, so you can maybe hit the gym for half an hour a night. And like I said, it's not necessarily doing your exercise program, it's popping in, getting a sweat on for half an hour, 45 minutes or so, and you'll feel a million times better for it. So that is how I stay healthy while working away. And if you do work away, I'd love to hear from you. Get in touch on Instagram at My Lifestyle Coach, or on Facebook. Follow me on My Lifestyle Coach, or be friends with me, Neil Damrell, on Facebook. I'd love to hear what kind of struggles you have staying healthy on the road. What kind of things do you want help with? What kind of things that you find you'll need to do in the future to kind of keep your weight goals in check while you're working away, so you're not spoiling them while out and about working away. So key factors, as I said before, with food is choose wisely, be conscious of your options, be prepared. Exercise, again, be prepared, take exercise kit with you. See if there's any local gyms that you can use while in the area. If you do want to use a gym and you want to have access to all of them, maybe look at how maybe you can have a cheaper membership with a more budget gym, just so you got access to more gyms rather than in one gym in the location wherever you are. And then on the road, again, be prepared, keep hydrated all the time with water, fizzy water. Try and snack on fruit is the best option, and take regular breaks if you can. Definitely take regular breaks of every hour, hour and a half while you're on the road as well. Okay, so hopefully that's been helpful for you. I know it helps to keep me healthy and happy and energised on the road, and it's not going to put my exercise program back. And you got to kind of feel, if it's important to you, you're going to make the effort to do it. If it's not so important to you, probably sit in your hotel room, have a beer and chill out. So what's important to you? If it's more important, then you're going to make the effort, go to the gym, you're going to search out these things. Yes, it takes a little bit of effort to get prepared. It takes a bit of effort to take more kit with you. It takes effort to find a gym, to go to the gym, a little bit of a drive. It's not going to be on your doorstep. All these things do require effort, but ultimately, anything you've ever achieved in your life that's been worthwhile, you've put some effort in to achieve it. So don't let travelling away be another excuse for you not to achieve the results you want to achieve in your weight loss journey or your fitness journey, wherever it may be. So take these points on board. As I said, if you've got any questions, get in touch with me. The links will be in the show notes. And I hope you enjoyed the show, and we'll see you next time. Thank you.